Alright, everybody. Wyldwest right here. Wyldstyle Radio Afterparty. We are from wyldstyleradio.com. And tonight I have the one and only Callie and DJ Ice. Usually we have got like 5 or 6 people, but tonight it looks like it's going to be 3 of us. A couple might come in a little later. Stumble in. Probably drunk. Something, I don't know. Or high on meds because I got sick people.
Oh.
But anyway, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. As advertised earlier, we're gonna do your favorite cartoons of your childhood. Our first segment, and then of course if we go over, we can do it on the second segment if we get talking about it too much. But anyway, ladies first. It don't have to be just one. It can be several of that you remember. So I guess we'll start with Callie. Let her know, or let her go with what is her favorite cartoon when she was a kid.
Oh god. I actually don't remember mine. It's just been too long. But I remember watching Sesame Street.
I think that everybody watched Sesame Street for at least a year.
Yeah.
Can you name any of the characters?
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite. He was funny.
I think my favorite was the Cookie Monster, though.
I did it all for the cookie. Come on, the Cookie Monster.
And then Big Bird had Snuffleupagus that only he could see, and nobody believed that he existed because he was never there when everybody else was there.
Yeah. And then there was Bert.
Bert.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
Mhm.
Grover.
Yep.
I don't remember the rest. Elmo.
Yeah. You had the Count.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Elmo.
Yep.
But I think Elmo didn't come out to the 90s. When I was a kid, I don't think he was on there.
Yeah, when I was.
Oh.
I think it was after I had stopped watching it, he got on there.
Yeah, I don't think he was there because I was probably late 70s, early 80s before I stopped watching it. So I guess that was the original cast.
Yeah, but I don't remember the people's names.
I don't either. I was just trying to figure out their names, and I really cannot remember. I just can't remember none of their. I can see their faces, but I can't remember their names. And I'm pretty sure that they're not even on there anymore. So. But anyway, I guess Ice. I have a feeling I know, kinda, but I don't know.
Okay, I want to hear what you think it is before I answer.
Well, I've always heard you say, mention Dara.
Daria.
Oh.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Well, you always mention Dara, and I think that in a way, I can see where you like it, but go ahead.
Well, you said as a kid, so Daria didn't come out till I was in, maybe last year, middle school. or so. That's when I really cottoned on to Daria. But as a kid,
Well,
hmm?
well, you can be like your mid-teens, you know, like 12, 13, 14 as well, so it don't matter.
Okay. Um, yeah, definitely it was Daria, one of them. Sailor Moon. Um, and I wasn't a Sesame Street kid. I was a Eureka's Castle kid. Do either of you remember that show?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, you also have to realize there's probably a lot of shows. You always got you come out of left field with some of your stuff, but it's cool.
Some, it seems like every
It's
time, like.
it's good. Yeah, it's a good learning experience for everybody else. You know, so
So yeah, while y'all
but
normal
you
kids
also
are
have to
watching
realize too that
this.
yeah, you're watching something probably more substantial, I guess. I But what I was trying to say is like sometimes with some shows they was probably only showed in a certain region. I'm sure there was shows that was aired here that some people might not know about. You know, especially like early morning like that, because a lot of times they let the local uh, channel in the like mornings and stuff like that handle what they want to show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is very understandable that some. I mean, even as a kid until now, especially now, you don't the cartoons these days. Like, how in the hell do you watch them?
Oh my gosh, really,
Because
really, really.
Well,
uh,
CJ's favorite was Rugrats.
Oh, I love Rugrats, but the old Rugrats. It was so bizarre when they had them grow up. It was like, no.
Yeah, she didn't like the grown-up ones. She liked the baby ones.
Mhm. Yeah, those were the best.
yeah,
But then it's funny because you're watching these kids for like 5, 6 years, and like, how are you still one?
well, that's just like the Simpsons.
Mhm.
They've been on for 25 years, and them kids has not grown up yet. They should be about as old as I am. I wish I could be 38 and still going to school and being back in school and stuff, you know, not having to worry about regular life, you know.
Well, I think I'd just rather not worry about life.
Yeah, you know, I guess it depends on like, how your high school or your school experience was. Like I know that when I was in school back, I guess starting like fifth, fourth, fifth, sixth. I wish I didn't have to go to school. I can't wait to graduate and not have to worry about school anymore. Then you get out of school, what happens? I wish I was back in school.
I'd rather worry about a test than worry about not being able to
Yeah,
pay this bill.
yeah, I know. I do know a few people that are glad they're out of school because they really had a very bad experience with school.
Mm.
People treating them like, you know, picked on them, and you know. But I think it's a very rare occasion that somebody doesn't want, didn't want to be, doesn't want to go back to school. Most people would love to go back to school because really, I was in high school band. That was some of my best years. The fun. That's where I fit in back then when I was in high school. Uh, and all that. But anyway, let's get back on the subject. Here we are going off the subject like we always do.
That's
Uh,
what makes it fun.
yep. Do you have anything else you wanna uh, add, Ice?
I don't know. I guess not, because I can't really think of anything else that I like avidly watched. I mean, my mom says I was absolutely obsessed with Rainbow Bright. but I barely
Maybe
remember
right.
that. And Strawberry Shortcake. She said, I really love that one. I don't remember though.
I
And Hello Kitty.
remember them, but of course, I didn't watch it. I was a boy, so.
I start to wonder
Um,
a little bit.
There wasn't just like Speed Racer or something.
Oh
I
wait,
really never.
Ninja
Go ahead.
Turtles.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Okay.
I know we were talking about our favorite, and
Mm.
but of course we're gonna mention a lot more because there were so many that I watched, and I was gonna get to the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry. I didn't
but
see
that's
nothing.
fine. I mean, it's fine. Uh, I guess my favorite. I'm gonna have to say okay, outside of Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, because if you don't like Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes, there's something wrong with you. You know, I think that would probably. I mean, in the Flintstones, uh, Saturday mornings, watching them and then watching the reruns and stuff like that. Uh, but I grew up like when I was 8 years old to 12. The two main ones I watched was GI Joe and Transformers.
Transformers.
So outside of the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, Transformers was probably my favorite. GI Joe was my second favorite, I think. But when it comes down to it, this is what I love about Netflix. You can go back and watch like that.
Mm.
And
Yeah, you can.
the difference between to me with Transformers and GI Joe is when I was going through, I was watching three or four at a time. Couldn't get enough. I got to then after I finished that, and it's like Netflix. Whenever you're watching a series, you wish it wasn't over. Uh, After you get done with it. But when I started GI Joe, I only got like half a season. I said, you know, this wasn't as it's not as good now as it was when you was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Transformers, I can watch it again and again and again, and that's why I say it's probably my favorite. It's up there to me uh with uh Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny. Cause how can you not love Bugs Bunny? You
And I
can't.
stinker.
And then when I got older, I mean, this is why I said you can go to your 14-year-old, like right at the end of uh when I'm junior high. That's when Ninja Turtles came out when I was like entering right there at preteen and teen. So that so Ninja Turtles was actually my last hurrah of toys and watching the uh childhood cartoons. So yeah, that was probably the end of my. That's when I got getting to high school, playing baseball, band. You really didn't have time to watch cartoons anymore. So
Aww. So now, of course, the question is, who is your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
uh, I would have to say Michelangelo. Totally radical dude. Some reason I just liked how he talked. He was a fun one.
Surfer dude.
Yeah, he was a fun one, always
Mm.
cracking up and actually I think they was like the first turning a cartoon into a live movie.
Mm.
And I remember I loved that movie. Man, my friend that I grew up with, we sat on the front row to it. Oh, it was funny. I loved it, and got it not DVD, but VHS. I got it on DVD
Mhm.
now, but You know, it.
Yeah.
I remember it very well. So, oh,
Yeah, I love the turtles. My favorite movie though is the third one. And they were in Japan
oh,
in the past.
I liked it better than the second one. I think the first one is the best for me, but just because that was the first one, I had, there was a sentimental moment.
Yeah.
Because it was the first one. And they actually got to use all their weapons.
Mm.
The second one, the moms, so to speak, or the parents, was complaining that the them using their weapons was too violent. So instead of getting to use their weapons like the nunchucks and the swords and the bow staff and the
Mm.
sais, they would have them on them, but they would use these sticks to beat them up. And I'm like, that's the same thing.
I know.
I mean, what's the point?
Oh, I remember they were doing that when when Disney put Tarzan out,
Yeah.
and parents were complaining left and right, but that didn't stop them from buying the little plastic spears. I'm like, really, people, really?
Yeah, I think, I have my beef on a lot of stuff, and I'm gonna keep my mouth shut right now. But we might get into a little bit more after we come back from break. Since we're probably not gonna have maybe one or two subjects, we can probably extend this a little bit. Uh, but we'll probably continue talking this after the break, if y'all don't mind.
Sure.
Sure.
But anyway, uh, we are from WyldstyleRadio.com, and if you are on the go and can't get to a laptop or personal computer all the time, uh, get on your tablet or your smartphone, and you can get TuneIn Radio. Is a free download in the Play Store, and listen to us anywhere you want to, in the car, airport, wherever. So anyway, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. So we'll after these messages, we'll be right back.
Would you like to get some Wyldstyle apparel? You can go to Wyldstyle Radio merch and get t-shirts, shot glasses, and more. You can click on the banner at wildstyleradio.com or you can go to cafepress.com/Wyldstyle merch.
Alright, we are back. And, of course, before the break we was talking about our favorite cartoons when we was a kid. And we ended with, I think, talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power! Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you really went all the way.
He actually remembers the whole thing.
I know.
Yep, cowabunga, dude.
I used to be
anyway.
able to do that voice. That whole surfer dude thing.
Yeah, me too, but after like 20 years, you can't do it. Do y'all remember any of the characters from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles besides the Turtles?
Shredder? I
Yep.
remember Shredder. Wasn't there a girl?
April.
Yep, there was one girl.
No, it was two.
Main character. Yeah, April O'Neil.
Yep.
There's two?
Yeah. She had a friend or
Okay, I don't remember the other one.
co-worker or something.
What was the rat's name?
Master.
Yeah, and then you had Casey Jones. Yeah, Master Splinter. Bebop and Rocksteady.
Kind of remember them.
Well, those are the two main, like, Shredder's, main two guys that go after the turtles all the time. And then you had, was he just called the Brain?
I think so.
Yeah, he was it was weird.
I think he came a little bit later when Shredder started to get a little... People started to get a little tired of the same thing.
Yeah. And, I think that was it, really, of your main characters.
I think so.
I know, like in the movie, you know, you had Casey Jones in the first one. And was it the third one? He took Splinter while they went off to the past in Japan.
That was the third one.
Yeah. The second one was kind of weird, you know, they was going about the ooze.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good, but at the same time, you know, it's just the weapons. But I've already gone on that, and I guess I'll kind of do my little rant here about that. You know, it's the parents that has to make sure that they know what's real and what's not real with cartoons. They even claimed that Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry too violent for kids these days, and then you see all the other stuff they put on. I'm like, how in the hell is it too violent when you're showing SpongeBob and SquarePants? They're showing underwater. How can fire be on underwater? You know,
Yeah.
give me a break here. You know, I watched Bugs Bunny and I saw him blow up Yosemite Sam plenty of times. You know, but I'm not out there trying to stick a bomb up somebody's ass and see what happens, you know.
You'd like to though, huh?
No, I'm sure there's plenty, some people I would love to, but, you know, I know it's wrong. You know, I know that was just a comedy thing, and I know, okay, that's a comedy cartoon. He's not supposed to die. In real life, he'd be dead. You'd be wearing him. Bugs Bunny would be wearing him as a suit right now.
Yeah, it's an image.
Yeah. It's just one of them. What Peter Griffin on Family Guy would say. That just grinds my gears. You know.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway,
Some parents are just too strict. That's all.
well, it's not too strict. It's called they don't want to. They don't want to raise their own kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, they
They
want to
want
put them in
TV.
front of the TV.
Yeah, they want to put them in front of the TV. Say watch it, and let TV be their role model. Your only best role models is your parents.
Mm.
Oh, jeez.
So
Our kids
yeah,
are
straighten
gonna
up,
need
Callie.
therapy.
I'm not going there.
Kinda did. A little bit.
I did. A lot of kids gonna be going into therapy. Let me tell
Oh
you.
no.
But anyway, that was my rant of the night.
For now.
Yeah, for now. You never know, might get another or two. Oh, y'all have any more cartoons y'all want to bring up? Oh,
um, Thundercats.
yeah, Thundercats was pretty cool for a little short time, I think.
I think I only watched like the first few.
Yeah,
After that, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was all about. I watched it, but it wasn't the one. It was not one of them that you kept in your memory.
Yeah, it kind of
Oh.
reminded me of. I think GI Joe was better.
Yeah, G.I. Joe was way a lot better than Thundercats. Then you had He-Man.
Oh my gosh. That is my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
He-Man and She-Ra. She loves that.
Yeah, I used to watch. He-Man was like right before Transformers.
Oh.
Oh, I think it came. It was. It's a little older, I think. Oh, came out maybe a couple years before Transformers did.
Mhm.
And I used to love it. I had, when I was a kid, I had the toys and stuff. I had He-Man. I had Skeletor. I had a couple others. I had Cringer slash Battle Cat. Oh, and in the story about we had a dog, and somehow the dog got in my toy box, and he pulled Skeletor out while we wasn't there, and he chewed his leg off.
Oh.
Good doggy.
Yeah, good dog knew which one was a bad guy. I was like,
Exactly.
you
That's
knew whose leg to chew off. So at the time I was kind of mad about it. So
Yeah.
Dad took me back to the store, got me a new one.
Aww.
But I still play with the old one. I just acted like Battle Cat chewed his leg off.
That's so cute.
Oh. I think out of all of them, I think the toys that I collected most was probably Transformers and GI Joe. That's me and my friends was all into it. And I think that I have more Transformers than I did anything else. And I remember my babysitter one day after school told me, "You get all your homework done before my husband gets home. I got a surprise for you." And of course, it had to be one of them nights when I had 5 books coming home with me and all kind of homework.
Oh my gosh.
And I only had like 2.5 hours to do it.
Oh.
So I rushed, and I got done right before he pulled up. And they brought my surprise out, and it was Optimus Prime. So I was like, yes, Mr. Wow, the kid was happy.
Aww.
But yeah, I mean, cartoons when you was a kid was one of the best things if you wasn't outside uh, playing and stuff. I think winter was when, like fall to winter is when they had new series and new episodes when you couldn't really go outside. And then in the summertime, kids are outside, so they put reruns on. It's not like it is.
Mm.
It's not like it is now. They have new episodes during the summer, during the fall, during everywhere. So,
Well,
uh,
they kind of have to now. I mean, the kids are indoors more now
yeah,
than they are at home.
yeah, 'cause they're lazy and don't go outside.
Mm. Well, now you've got so many predators. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Yeah,
most parents don't want to even let their kids go out.
Yeah, because they're worried about some psychopath coming
Grabbing
by and
them.
kidnapping the kid, or even worse, some
oh
idiot
yeah,
gang member just do a drive-by for no apparent reason or something. Just, some overprivileged kid just have a temper tantrum and do something stupid and hurt their child.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, back then, you said your mom was like, "I'm home. Gotta be in before dark." And I remember she'd come on the 40 minutes to check on me, either riding my bike or playing with my friends or something like that. Which I lived in an older person neighborhood. There wasn't very many kids. They had grandkids come for the weekend. That's when my friends would come over most of the time. On the week during the week, you know, I didn't have but maybe one friend that when I was my babysitter, her grandchild was my best friend. So other than that, there was a lot of times I was a lonely child, playing with myself. No, not in that way, perverts, but you know,
That was all you, sir. I was following along
I
with
know
a
it was
very
me, but
innocent
I caught
story.
myself. Yeah, I caught myself on that one. 'Cause when you're around perverts almost every day of your life now, you catch yourself saying, "Oh," because if I was at work, I'd have been ragged up all day about that. But
Mm.
uh, all right, for y'all, uh, girly cartoons back in the day when I was a kid. Uh, of course, I mentioned Rainbow Bright. Uh, you had My Little Pony,
Yeah. My Little Pony.
and
I never watched the
For like a
cartoon, but
minute.
I had all of the My Little Ponies. They were pretty.
Yeah,
yeah,
I think I
they did a
have.
good job on designing the toys for them.
They
And then
did.
had Care Bears Countdown. Five,
Care
four, three, two,
Bears.
one.
Totally forgot about Care Bears, but I loved Care Bears. Care Bears stare! Oh my gosh,
I,
that was
I only
great.
watched it I watched it only in if I had to share the TV. My babysitter did have a few girls that she did babysit every once in a while, so I'd had to share the TV and let them watch their girly stuff. So,
Girly
so,
stuff. It's okay, we
so,
know you're a guy. You're buff. You're macho. We get
You know
so
you
yeah,
loved it though.
know.
You know you loved it.
No,
it.
you don't really get into the characters. Like, can y'all name any of the Care Bears?
Grumpy
I,
Bear!
Yeah, Grumpy. Didn't he have was the one with the cloud on his stomach?
Yes, he was!
That's what I thought.
and there was like Sunshine and
Sunshine, Rainbow.
Yeah,
Rainbow.
lots of heart bear
Yeah.
and I can't remember. Swift Heart Rabbit. Um,
You can
there
name more
was-
than I can.
I did. I love the Care Bears. But my favorite like Care Bear anything was actually they did a crossover cartoon with Care Bears and Alice in Wonderland. And I know nobody else ever said whatever. It was really, really cool because they had like these weird psychedelic lands in Wonderland, and Cheshire Cat was really cool. He was weird. He was cool, and like in the end, Cheshire Cat somehow followed them back to whatever the name of their land is. I can't think of now. And he like raids their fridge, which pisses off Grumpy because Grumpy didn't eat the entire time. And I don't know, he gets into this like little rap about the food that he's eating. He's like, having hot dog, whatever. And the one line that my mother and I remember, because it's a baby, was that he's topping it with pickled beets. Like other characters would get grossed out. They're like, pickled beets. And then Cheshire Cat would be like, I'm topping it with pickled beets. Yeah. Oh no, that was like super cool to me.
Yeah, I can't really remember. It's I had all these cartoons in my head when I thought about this, and then all of a sudden we get to the show, and I guess I should have wrote it down. But
well, what about Tiny Toons?
I remember Tiny Toons a little bit. I mean, I think they came out around when Ninja Turtles. So I did watch it a little bit, but it just wasn't the same as Looney Tunes, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have, but they did have its moment. So
yes.
I think. What about the Smurfs?
Oh my gosh, the Smurfs.
Oh, I watched them every Saturday morning, and even mom would love watching the Smurfs, and I think she's mad to this day that they left him in limbo.
Oh wow. I remember watching the Smurfs, but I don't remember too much about it.
Yeah, there was a worse ending of all because it was one of them things where they was gonna probably do another season, but they didn't. And it was a continued part.
Oh.
And you never saw what happened to him. I remember there was in some kind of whirlwind thing, and it said to be continued, and you never saw another show.
Oh my gosh. That's cruel.
Yeah, that was cruel. You'd have thought, well, you could at least have Gargamel finally win and eat them all. That would be a good ending. I mean, not a good ending, but at least we know what
You
happened.
just traumatize a whole bunch of kids. That's okay.
You traumatize us all. Traumatize them anyway by living in limbo. Here it is, 20, 30 years. From that day, and my mom's still traumatized from living them in limbo.
Yeah, well, she just has to watch the movie and realize that stupid whirlwind just brought them to New York, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
I haven't got to watch either movie, so
I can't bring myself to watch it. It just looks stupid. I think I just get really mad.
I mean, I think that it's like I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. So
yeah.
I'm probably going to be one of them that eventually will watch it, but only on my terms. There's a lot of the remake of movies, and I know that I've been trying not to mention movies because that's like our fallback to anything, I guess, when we out of conversation. But the way, like in Transformers, like that, there was when I was a kid, the original series. I've got a friend that will not watch none of the movies because Bumblebee is not a Volkswagen Bug, and Optimus Prime is the new kind of truck, semi truck, with a nose instead of a flat nose.
Mm.
So, and of course some other stuff too. Cause it wasn't, they didn't go with. He says they should have had a bug, being a Volkswagen Bug and all that should have been like, well, you gotta realize that they had to have a sponsor. Uh, and Volkswagen might not wanted Bumblebee to be a bug. And plus, if you think about it, alright, when the original series of the Transformers ended with like a 3 or 4 part, uh, and that's how it ruined. Of course, the little movie they did back in the 80s when Optimus Prime died and half the other uh, original characters died, with Ironhide and Wheeljack actually dying in the first 5 freaking minutes of the movie. That pissed me off. I mean, it pissed me off. That movie pissed me off. I go see it. I didn't see it till a couple years ago. I finally said, I'm gonna finally watch it, and then I finally figured out why when they had a new series after that, cause it pissed me off. You took all the good characters and killed them off, brought these new characters in, and they hardly ever transform. What's the point of it being Transformers if they're not going to transform but maybe once in every 3 episodes?
Transformers, robots in your face.
Yeah, that's basically what it was. And then when Optimus Prime came back, and the moral of the story is when they upgraded Bumblebee to a sports car. So technically, they basically was just going by that, not the original, but the end of it. So yeah, that's that story.
Yeah, well, in the lines of remakes, just before cut our cable, I saw the commercials for like the new Ninja Turtles, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that artwork looks absolutely horrible. They're going to completely screw it up, and I refuse to watch it. Aside from the fact that I couldn't, but
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah.
they're having a new Ninja Turtle movie,
no, I know. And what's her
and
face is in it, and I'm like,
I want somewhere I want to watch it, but I seen like a picture of or one of the clips with Michelangelo, and I don't think I'm gonna like it as good as the original movie that came out. So uh, I know it's more graphics now than
which I
anything. I
hate
mean,
because the graphics look ugly, man. Just bring back the weird foam rubbery whatever suits.
yeah,
And
what they
it'll be
did
done.
back then. I mean, I think that was great how they did it. They done a perfectly good job with it back in the '90s with the technology they had,
They really
and it
did.
looked real. This one it looks like it kind of the suits kind of fit too far down,
Oh
and you can see
man.
the dome shape of the person's head inside. I mean, that just don't look right.
Okay, I'm looking up stills from the I guess the trailer or whatever. Yeah, first
Yeah.
4 posters, whatever. And someone edited the picture of Michelangelo to look like Shrek, and they put Donkey in the background.
I think I seen that. I think that I
Oh
actually
man,
seen that, and that was crazy.
that is hilarious. Well, there's the link in our little chat box.
Oh yeah.
That is too funny. But yeah, they look super strange now.
Yeah, they do.
It's like they
Yeah,
couldn't
and
make their minds up if they wanted them to look more human or more like turtles, and they struck
like
a
a turtle.
horrible balance.
Yeah, and even in the original movie, uh, the difference between the cartoon and the movie. The cartoon when they was actually humans that touched the ooze and touched the turtle, and they turned into a turtle.
Mhm.
Well, in the movie, uh, it was turtles that hit the ooze and made them transform into more of a talking turtle and grew up like that. And plus
Mm.
with Splinter as well. I mean,
Mhm.
Splinter was a rat, a little bitty rat, and he learned his ninjutsu by watching his master, which in the cartoon that master was Splinter. So that was the difference between that movie and the original uh, cartoon series. So
Mhm.
even then, even the movie was great. It kind of made more sense maybe of doing that. But at the same time, the Splinter being a little rat in his cage, seeing him do kicks, that was funny as hell. Seeing this little rat doing a ninja kick and everything, then he grows up, once he hits the ooze and blah blah blah. Uh, but anyway,
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this stuff.
I
Oh,
think
it's funny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the only movie I'm looking forward to is Transformers, and I also want to watch the X-Men.
Yeah, I want to watch the X-Men.
I heard X-Men was badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said they done it right. Uh, and it is the end. You'll probably never see another X-Men movie unless they want to redo it again.
Which
Uh,
they probably will.
yeah, they'll probably do it and screw it all up.
Yep.
Uh, the one the one that I heard that you don't want to go see the movies, you might just want to rent it on DVD or whatever, is Godzilla. Uh, they said it wasn't all that great. The graphics and the effects, yes, the graphics and stuff was great. The ending was pretty good, but whenever they showed Godzilla fighting, they'd show like maybe 5 seconds of it, and then they'd go back to what the humans was doing. So you really didn't get to see Godzilla.
That seems to be the going trend. It's a movie about, monsters, and it's really
And
about people talking about monsters.
yeah, and that reminds me of that one movie that came out that was supposed to be about the monster, but you never seen the monster. That happened like 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I watched maybe half of it, and I said, this sucks. But anyway, we're gonna take a little break. Uh, we'll come back. We'll probably finish up a little bit of the cartoons. Maybe bring up some more cartoons if we can come up to mind. And after that, uh, maybe the end of the third segment or the start of the last segment, we'll get on another subject for a little bit before we sign out. So anyway, if you want to follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Wyldstyle Radio. Slash, or you can follow me at facebook.com/DJ Wyldwest. I think that's what, or Wild West WSR. Sorry, that's what it is. And then you'll have, and Maximum Decibel Station now has his own uh Facebook page. We're getting it built up. So if you want to go like his page, Maximum Dev at the end of Facebook.com, and we're also on Twitter. So find us, follow us, and like us, and keep up with what we're doing. But anyway, as the old Saturday morning cartoons would say, I think on one of them, after these messages, we'll be right back. Okay. I gotta stop doing it. I always wanted to do that and do it, and I'm not gonna stop.
Well, I'll say more on that when we come back.
All right.
All right.
If you shop Amazon or would like to, you can click the Amazon banners on the WildstyleRadio.com site and help support Wildstyle Radio find all the electronics, music, and other needs on Amazon.com by clicking the banner.
And we are back. So welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. And thank you.
Anyway, we are from WildstyleRadio.com. For those, thank you. Thank you very much. Alright, I was throwing off a little track there, so give me a second. Alright, we've been talking about cartoons, your favorite cartoons, and also cartoons and other stuff that you remember back when you was a kid or a teenager, or some even maybe when you was younger. We're talking about Transformers and Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe, Rainbow Bright. See, this is the only bad thing when someone like Maximum Devastation's not here. I was gonna try to joke with him, so yeah, I know what your favorite one was, or something like that. But
What do you think his was?
I'm not really sure, but I was gonna, that was either Rainbow Bright or My Little Pony or something like that. So.
He's gonna hear that and he's gonna be like, what? Oh god.
If he hears it, he's probably gonna give me back for it. Well, anyway, you can't leave out the Muppets.
Yeah.
I just thought about the Muppets.
Yeah. Well, they weren't a cartoon, so I mean.
No, in a cartoon there was Muppets, but it was the same, technically the same thing. Kinda, maybe not the same thing, but.
No, they were only live action, not drama.
Yeah, it's like live action cartoon. Guess you just call it that. I don't know. It did lead into a cartoon called the Muppet Babies. Y'all
Yes,
remember the Muppet
I
Babies?
remember the Muppet Babies. I do.
Yeah, the Muppet Babies.
Hmm?
Even though the only episode that I can remember is when they done the Star Wars episode.
Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why you remember that one.
Yeah, I just can't figure out why. So.
It's a mystery.
Yep. Oh, I always liked the two guys in the balcony.
No,
That always joked about everything. Animal, Crazy on the drums.
Yep.
Trying to think of other, like Bleeker.
Yeah, and the chef.
Yeah.
Swedish chef.
So yeah. The WWE wrestling show with the Muppets on there when they was advertising the movie that came out a couple years ago. And there's a wrestler named Smith, and he's from Ireland. No, yeah, he's Irish, and he's got bright red hair just like Bleeker. And it was so funny. They met it like Sheamus went to Bleeker, said, "Hey Bleeker, tell the family I won't be able to make it to your reunion." And I was like, okay, that was pretty funny, but you shook your head on it like, yeah, I see the resemblance. Uh, I've been trying to think of other cartoons other
Hmm.
than that. Ren and Stimpy, wasn't they part of another
Yeah,
cartoon?
Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
Nickelodeon ran their stuff. The Ren and Stimpy was on there, and yeah, as a kid, I thought it was kind of funny. And you grow up and you look back on that cartoon, or even some of Looney Tunes, and some of that stuff, a lot of that stuff was extremely risque, and you wondered how they got away with showing that to kids. I mean, aside from the fact that they were just assuming that the kids didn't know what was going on.
yeah. I didn't never. When I was a kid, I didn't have cable, so I didn't have Nickelodeon, so I didn't. I wasn't able to watch Ren and Stimpy, but I heard a lot about it.
Oh,
Uh, and that's why I just brought it up. Uh, there was a lot of cartoons that I didn't really get into. Uh, and I guess because I didn't, I can't remember the names. So
I remember Scooby Doo.
yeah, Scooby
oh
Doo.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't mention him earlier, because that was another that I loved when I was a kid.
yeah. If it wasn't for these meddling teenagers or whatever the phrase is,
Yeah, yeah, meddling kids.
that's it.
And their dog.
Oh,
And their dog.
And their
and
dog.
Scrappy Doo.
I hate that little punk. He annoyed the piss out of me.
Yeah,
I
you
wanted
know,
to
I
punt that
really.
little rascal across the field.
And that was another one they made a real life movie over. I mean, it's an alright movie. I mean, it's not one that you can sit here and say was the greatest thing ever. Uh, and they made actually Scrappy be the bad guy, and at the end,
Yeah, they did.
and
Really?
yeah, they made Scrappy
Yeah.
the bad guy. Uh, so I kind of was glad because as you said, he was very annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in a way, I guess somebody else thought he was annoying, so let's make him a bad guy. So Snoopy kicked his butt, or not Snoopy, Scooby Doo. Sorry, I went all peanuts there. Scooby Doo.
Although
Uh,
that was a good cartoon too.
why peanuts? Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. They didn't really do a weekly series or everyday series. It was like a seasonal.
Yeah.
Uh, I always had to love Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Brown was trying to kick the ball, and she'd take it away, and
Yep.
he'd fall down on his back. I'm sorry, if I was Charlie Brown, I'd have kicked her ass. I just forfeit.
Yeah, no, I always watch that and I'm like, dude, why don't you kick her instead of the ball?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, I'll kick the ball. Yeah, then kick her right in the face.
Oh God.
But well, who is her crush? Linus, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
I don't remember
Was it
actually.
Linus? Uh, yeah, it was Linus. I was thinking that Linus was her brother, and there was the other girl. Linus was the other girl's. No, it was a blonde-headed girl that had a crush on Linus. I can't remember her
Who's
name. I
the
don't.
piano player? What was that
Yeah.
kid's name?
I don't know.
That was
Uh,
Linus.
yeah, I guess it was. I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
It was funny though. We were watching it their special on Netflix, and in one of the Christmas specials, she's spouting off something really obnoxious, and Linus just flips her over, and she goes spinning through the air, and he flips her with his piano and just sends her flying. It was great. Because, oh, I think she was trying to say, how funny it was that he was all into Beethoven, who wrote these magnificent pieces on this grand piano, and how Linus is playing them on this little 8-note kiddies piano, and he got pissed off, and he just, like, flipped her off with the piano, and she goes flying through the air.
Yeah. I've been sitting here thinking. I think the blonde girl liked Charlie Brown.
No, little
Or
blonde girl was Charlie Brown's sister, Lucy. I mean, not Lucy. What's her name?
I can't remember her name. That's why I was trying to.
Holy cow!
I have to go see if I can
Google
find
to
it.
the rescue.
Yeah. uh, let's see. What other? Of course, Flintstones. We mentioned Flintstones.
Yeah.
Yabba Dabba Doo. And Bam Bam. Funny thing is, my sister, I think, liked the Flintstones way more than I did. And I always heard the story when before my mom gave birth to me, when she was carrying me, and my sister would always call me Bam Bam. And then when I was born, she stopped calling me Bam Bam. I guess because I didn't look like Bam Bam. I don't know. Yeah, that's an old story I used to remember being told. Like
Aw.
every once in a while, I was like, "Yeah, your sister always called you Bam Bam before he was born."
That's cute. Bam Bam.
Cute.
Yeah. I think we're gonna resurrect that nickname.
Oh no.
Okay, so we were wrong. It was Schroeder who was at the piano.
All right.
And the blonde girl is Sally.
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah. She had a crush on Linus.
Yeah.
Lucy had the crush on Schroeder.
All right, then. Poor old Charlie Brown. Why is everybody always picking on me?
Aw. Yeah. That was fun to watch. Snoopy was cool, but he'd get a little too much leeway and it would piss me off.
Yeah.
He'd do stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Only because he's a cartoon, I would kick him.
Yeah. I mean, you had. Alright, I don't know if y'all seen Robot Chicken or heard of Robot Chicken.
I've heard of it.
Alright, well, they do spoofs of a lot of stuff, especially cartoons. They do them over. They've done a couple on the Smurfs. They've done spoofs on the Peanuts and all this, and they're not like where the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
That one about Halloween, and the Great Pumpkin is was, I don't know, I really never understood that one about what was a Great Pumpkin. So I guess Robot Chicken decided they'll show you what the Great Pumpkin was, and they grew up and ate everybody except for Charlie Brown. That's how Robot Chicken is. I mean, it takes your favorite cartoons and puts a twist on them. I don't even want to go into the Smurf one. That was, I don't know.
I can only imagine.
Okay, I got Randy's favorite cartoon.
What's
Said
this?
his favorite is Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry, yeah. Does anybody remember the ones where they were actually talking?
That had to be the very first ones, wouldn't it?
Probably,
I
like
think so.
Tom and Jerry were French.
Yeah, I remember maybe one or two of they talks, but I don't remember very much of it. It was
Mm.
actually
By the
Tom and
time,
Jerry.
well, by the time I started watching them, they weren't talking.
Yeah, you'd have to watch the reruns basically because actually Tom and Jerry is older than me. I mean, because my dad, that's my dad's favorite, Tom and Jerry. He loved Tom and Jerry. So they had to be pretty old because my dad's pretty old. uh, I really hate to say that, but
Hey,
uh,
it is what it is.
um, for they're saying that Tom and Jerry and the Looney Tunes, was too violent for kids today, whatever. And they do have new Tom and Jerry, and I watched a little bit of it. It is just not the same. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not Tom and Jerry people. They're
Meh.
they're they're not really. They're not living up to that cartoon.
The hijinks.
Yeah, cause I think the Cartoon Network uh shows the original episodes, for an hour, and
Hmm.
they go to that, and if you watch the original and you watch a little bit, and like no.
Oh, we had this channel called Boomerang, and Boomerang would show all the old cartoons, like all those ones that got banned and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I
Is
mean,
Go ahead.
they still show them on Cartoon Central, but early in the morning,
Hmm.
like when kids are in school or whatever. But I never had. We don't have Boomerang. I don't think I've ever had that channel, and I wish I did. Uh,
Well,
but compared to the days, go ahead.
mhm. No, I was just gonna say it was on Boomerang where they started playing this one animated series of the Justice League, and it was the funniest crap I've ever watched because the superheroes are all like, "Hey, why are all the villains hanging out in this bar?" I mean, they would point out the obvious stuff that they would put in cartoons, and they would just crack jokes on each other or on themselves, and it was stuff like you would sit there and think, these voice actors may have just been, shooting the breeze, and the animators just like forgot to edit that out. I mean, that's the kind of stuff they were saying.
I think I seen something like that, something similar. Maybe online. They probably have it online or something
Yeah.
on YouTube somewhere. Uh, and of course, Robot Chicken has done the Justice League and the Hall of Justice. Y'all remember that cartoon back a long time ago? But when I was little on Saturday morning, Hall of Justice. You had Superman, Batman, Robin, Aquaman, uh, Wonder Woman,
Flash.
the Wonder Twins, uh, something like that, and they go against like either the Joker and the Penguin. Because back in the day, Joker and the Penguin was together. They worked together. Uh, or Superman's foes. It was crazy. And a lot of the like Aquaman, and the Wonder Twins, and I can't remember which the one that was Fast Lightning.
Flash.
Either I think it was either Flash or the other one. I think it was Flash that was in there. Uh, you really didn't see other cartoons or movies about them like you did with Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman. Uh, like Superman had it, back in the day had his own uh real TV show and then movies, and Batman had their own shows. Wonder Woman did, but these others, some comic books, and I really went into comic books that much, so I didn't know really who they were just by only by association with the cartoon.
Mm.
So that was to me was interesting that I would have liked to seen them do like a spin off of that character doing whatever, but it's only and bringing back Robot Chicken again, they spoofed it, and they said they was like acting like Aquaman didn't really have, wasn't relevant.
Mhm.
And then when you come to think about it, really, he isn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not nothing to do with water, I mean, what's it good for?
Well, they came out with Batman the Bold and the Brave, and it was like a takeoff of this 50s version. And Aquaman in that version of Batman is hilarious. He's so full of himself. Yeah, anything he does, he's like, this reminds me of the adventure of Aquaman, fights an evil squid or whatever. And he's like, he'd just start off on this narrative, and, people would try to get away from his as fast as they could so they wouldn't have to hear him. And he just cracked me up because he was so, like, narcissistic.
Yeah, Aquaman. I think I had to agree with Robot Chicken that it was why. I mean, and then you had the Wonder Woman invisible airplane.
Which doesn't make sense. She can fly.
Yeah, and you see, it was supposed to be you'd see her, but you didn't see the plane. Like, okay, she's just hovering. uh,
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Kill Bill 2.
I saw the first one.
All right,
Yeah, I
well,
saw the first one.
I know the first one was very gory and a lot of, you know, killing. The second one is too, but it's not as much. But I bring this up because at the very end, Bill, who she's supposed to be killing, uh, she actually got there to do what she's supposed to do. And they sit there and talk, and he actually explains that it really made sense about superheroes. And he said, you know what makes Superman stand out in all the superheroes and the comic books and all that? With Spider-Man, Batman, and all them, Batman, Spider-Man, their costume is to hide their identity. Superman is Superman. Clark Kent is his disguise. He's the only one that was born a superhero out of all the comic books and stuff like that. He actually was a superhero born.
Hmm.
He was already Superman, and Clark Kent was his disguise.
Right. Which cracks me up. Put on the glasses. Where's
Yeah.
Superman go? Take the glasses off. Hey, where's
Hey,
Clark
there's
Kent? Put the glasses on. He's like, really? Really? You
yeah.
can't see that.
No one got it. Like when something bad happened, and he's a reporter, he's supposed to be there, and Lois Lane or whoever like looks up, where did Clark Kent go? And all of a sudden, here comes Superman.
Yep. Superman! I'm totally focusing on you and completely forgetting that my partner just disappeared.
Yeah, then where was you didn't see that?
And
See
he's all
what?
coming back, fixing his hair, fixing his tie, running, out of breath. It's like, well, only a few things that could have happened just now.
Yeah, I mean, don't you get the hint there?
But they do that in a lot of cartoons. I mean, they did that in Sailor Moon, and I thought, I mean, yeah, when I was younger and I wasn't really trying to pay attention that close, I was just mesmerized by these teenage girls who were kicking butt with celestial powers and all that stuff. I wasn't really paying attention too much. But when I got older, I was like, how do you not know this chick is Sailor Moon? I mean, it's not like she changed her hairstyle, and her hairstyle was, two big blonde buns on the side of her head and these long blonde pigtails. I'm like, nobody else in Japan is wearing their hair like that. You really don't see the correlation?
Yeah, I think that's why they're pointed to kids, because kids are not gonna catch on to it like once you like get older, you start catching on things like that.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
gonna think about it logically. They're just gonna say, "Oh, look."
Yep.
Yeah, and I think, and in the same sense, after you think about it, it says, even that, it's still cool. You still want to watch it. You still like it. So, so I guess they say either way, you know, it's a TV show or a movie or whatever, and that's just how they present it. And even though it's like a flaw that you didn't want it to be a flaw, but it's like a flaw that you have to live with because how else are you gonna do it? You know. Ah, let's see. We're gonna take a break here in a few minutes, but we're gonna mention a couple more or try to cartoons. Because I thought of something and now it's kind of escaped me again. Uh, it's like it comes to my head. It's like, oh, this cartoon. And all of a sudden, we keep on talking about something else, and it kind of escapes again. Uh, let's see. We did mention about the Simpsons.
Mhm.
Uh, they've been on for 25 years, and of course, we mentioned that the kids has never grown up. Uh, and it's still going. And that's the craziest thing about it. It's like when are they gonna actually end it? I haven't watched The Simpsons in years. Oh, I probably watched maybe the first 5 seasons, give or take. Then, I think after a while it just kind of got old. Uh, to me, and but I think that if they ever decide to end it, I would probably watch the last episode. What are they gonna do? Are they actually gonna sit here and have them grow up? Finally, graduate from school at least. At least have them graduate from school, you know. Well, maybe not Bart. I don't think Bart would ever graduate, knowing him. But
But at least
oh,
have Lisa graduate.
Yeah, right.
yeah. All right. Did y'all ever watch Pinky and the Brain?
Of course.
No.
What?
No, I didn't. I actually didn't. No.
Well, I watched a few episodes. I didn't really get into it that much, but I did watch a few, and some of it was funny. It was a good show. Uh, oh, I really can't. It was a mouse, wasn't it? Two mice
Yep.
or
2 mice.
or a mouse and a brain.
It's Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah. There's all. Yeah, I do remember the song. Pinky in the brain, pinky in the brain.
One is a genius, the other's insane.
uh, I'm scrounging here, people. Y'all need to help me out a little bit.
No. Um, let me think. Wow, Animaniacs, because Pinky and the Brain came out of Animaniacs.
Someone actually trying to think of.
Hmm?
Yeah, I think that was why Pinky in the Brain. Uh, I was trying to get to the Animaniacs. That was in my head. That was another one that I would probably watch for maybe about 6 months. Then it kind of faded away to me, but I think it had its run.
Yeah. A little girl in there saying, okay, I love you, bye
As
bye.
well. Yeah. Yeah, I think, and also I can't remember which one did it, but when he saw a beautiful girl, he said, hello, nurse.
Yeah, the two brothers.
And like, okay, you are a little, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, But anyway, I think that's about it with it. I think we've kind of wore this subject out,
Well,
kind
we
of,
could go
or
into cartoon movies.
it's like my mind is gone froze on it. So I sure. Well, yeah, I mean we could do that.
I mean, only if you want to. Because it'll trigger
Well, if
me
you
to
want to do cartoon
spiral in.
movies, you got to host this one. Cause
Say what now?
what was that?
What did you say?
Huh?
Are you trying to imitate me?
No,
No, I'm kind of
not
having a hard.
intentionally.
That's why, I'm asking.
Well, no, all I said is that it would just
Uh,
spiral into Disney movies mainly.
Yeah, I probably would, because those are the only ones that I remember.
yeah, like Snow White,
Space
uh,
Jams.
Oh
Space
my
Jam.
gosh,
That was a
Space
pretty cool
Jam.
movie. That was like one of the. I mean, probably not the very first. I know it's not the first, but didn't it actually have Michael Jordan in it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so. Oh,
Charles
and R.
Barkley.
Kelly had the. I believe I can
I can
fly.
fly.
I believe I can touch the sky. Yeah.
I think
Uh,
about it every night
had
and
Bugs
day.
Bunny in it. That.
And Lola Bunny.
Yeah, that was
uh,
actually the first time I ever heard of Lola Bunny.
Yeah, same here. I'm like, where'd this
And
chick
I'm
come
like,
from?
yeah, it's like, who the hell is this?
Mhm.
yeah, that was a. I need to go. I can watch that again. I hadn't watched it in a long time. It was a good movie.
That was funny.
Uh,
It's terrible. So bad.
but anyway, I think we'll take a break and then uh, we'll do a little. Yeah, when we come back, we can. I'm actually starting to feel. I'm starting to feel like we can get into the cartoon movies. Because I actually saw the end of one right before I .com. So we'll get into that when we come back, and also before we do that, I'll do a little, I guess, sports update, a little bit about a game that happened yesterday or Friday, I think. Uh, before we
Yeah,
get back into
Friday.
it, but if you want to see the replay, we have replays of all the Wild Style Radio after party hangouts and get them on wyldstyleradio.com. So be looking for it on wyldstyleradio.com, and also sooner or later, and probably maybe in the next week or two, we might start doing podcasts. So look for them too. Podcasts. Gonna be very interesting.
Mm.
Anyway, uh, we'll be right back, and we'll talk more about cartoon movies and a couple of little things. So see you then. everybody. Uh, this is Wild West, and I am from WyldstyleRadio.com. And if you want to hear me live on air playing the great music and everything else, come by WyldstyleRadio.com. 7 p.m. Central Time on Saturday nights. We party. Then right after, we throw the after party right here on Google Hangout with all my rowdy friends. Sooner or later, this will actually be streamed live on WyldstyleRadio.com. And we're back, and we've been talking about cartoons, everybody's favorite cartoons and everything. But before we get back to that, I got a couple of updates for sports. Wanting to basically uh, say this on Hangout because I thought it was very funny. But before I get to that, for y'all wrestling fans, I know I mentioned WWE earlier. Uh, if you remember the main commentator back uh, late 90s, early 2001, 2, and all that when The Rock and Stone Cold was around, good old JR. Uh, I saw him commentating boxing. I was flipping to the channels, I think it was Monday night, and I actually saw him actually calling boxing matches, which was pretty cool. I actually watched boxing because he makes it 10 times better because he, brings it to life. But for some reason, I just wanted to say that because it was just amazing how I was flipping through the channels and I saw him and heard his voice doing something besides wrestling. And here's the other update. Is what was that?
He's hustling.
Yeah, he does. He's a good announcer. He doesn't have the smooth voice in the world, but the way he talks and his ad libbing and phrases, like he actually heard him say one that he hadn't said before, talking about a boxer. This is just tougher than a $2 steak. I was like, oh. And he did use a couple of what he would use in wrestling, and one of them was like, because one of the boxers' first real name was Rocky, and we all know the Rock. And in the beginning of one of the rounds, he said, "Well, beginning of this round, we're gonna smell what the Rock is cooking." And I just shook my head, like, "Yep, I knew it. I knew a wrestling term was gonna come out." And slobber knocker, that happened at the end of the show. He said, "Let's see if he won this slobber knocker," and even his color commentator, uh, I knew you was gonna say that at least once. But they call him good old JR because he is a good guy. I mean, he's had a couple of strokes and he just keeps on going. So, but was a baseball game yesterday between Tampa Bay and Boston. These two teams, beginning of last year's playoffs, there's hate brewing between both of them, and it really accelerated yesterday when they played each other. When a pitcher, I think Price, hit Dave Ortiz with the ball, and Ortiz didn't like it because everybody, all the Boston wanted him to be thrown out because of intentional. And even before it started, the umpire got on the field and said, "This is a warning," because he didn't think he'd done it intentionally. And the manager got thrown out during that because the manager was arguing, so he got thrown out. Well, it happened again. The pitcher hit another player. So, and the pitcher still didn't get thrown out. Here comes the assistant manager from Boston. He gets tossed out. There was like 3 or 4 bench clearing
Wow.
calls in this game, and I think even the third base coach became acting manager. He got tossed. Uh, there's a couple of Boston pitchers got tossed because they actually. The ironic thing was one guy threw it behind the batter, and the umpire said, "You done that intentionally, you're out." And then another coach, the third base coach, got thrown out of the game. So I guess the first base coach, and they said after that it'd been David Ortiz would have to be acting manager. Uh, I think three pitchers and four or five managers or coaches got thrown out of that one game,
Oh
Wow.
my gosh.
and Boston still won 3-2. And it was just something that I wanted to. Because I don't think I've ever seen that in my lifetime, where almost all the coaches got thrown out, two pitchers got thrown out. The pitcher that was accused of doing it intentionally never got thrown out. Uh, but anyway, uh, so we are going to start talking about cartoon movies. We've been talking about cartoons, like when you was a kid and stuff like that, and of course, you also got the cartoon movies. So, Aisha, you want to run this one, or do you want me to do it?
Um, go right ahead.
All right. And yes, I have got me a drink now. A drink. I had to wait on to get cold. Uh, it's not my normal. Uh, Something a little lighter on the alcohol. But all right. I guess I'll try to start back in the 80s. The only one that comes to mind besides Disney movies. Uh, have y'all ever seen the movie called Heavy Metal?
Mm-mm.
Alright, I think Maximum Devastation and Black Magic and me kind of got into Black. We kind of got into that movie. I don't know much about it. I did watch it once, and it's a pretty good movie to watch, especially the '80s version. I haven't seen today's version or the one that came out like 2000 that was a remake, so I really can't specify. And before, I think it was either I got on there at Wyldstyle Radio or like during, and I just went to the channels, and one of my favorite, I'm pretty sure that y'all probably gonna love this one, Mulan. Okay, I didn't get no reaction from anybody.
No,
But
actually, your mic
Mulan,
put out.
y'all remember Mulan?
Yeah. Of course we remember Mulan. Well, I remember
I
Mulan.
love that movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Second one sucked. Big time.
I think I watched it for the first time a couple months ago. It was alright, but it wasn't the first one. You know, the first one was good. It's in cartoon movies. It's up there in my perspective. I can't remember if me and my buddy took his baby cousins, to see it in the movies, or it could have been Pocahontas that we went to see. I can't remember because I like both of them. I like Pocahontas too. That was a pretty good movie. I just hadn't seen in a long time. So and I don't really remember much about what Pocahontas was about, but I remember Mulan, and then I watched it a couple months ago on Netflix, and then caught the very half of it on TV a little bit ago. Uh, I I just liked how they set it up and everything with had Eddie Murphy in it. Of
Yeah.
course, the little dragon,
Yeah, anytime you put Eddie Murphy in a movie,
funny as
it's
hell as
just a
always.
show.
Yeah, he's gonna be just make you crack up. Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's what happened with the second one too. The little dragon was not Eddie Murphy.
No, it wasn't.
Even though it kind of sounded similar,
Right.
but you could tell it wasn't Eddie Murphy. You know, he didn't have the same.
Finesse, if you
One
will.
thing about Eddie Murphy, yes, the finesse, and that's what sometimes makes Eddie Murphy funny. His
Hmm.
finesse,
Yeah.
and his finesse bringing it makes it even more funny.
Hmm.
And as a special gift that he's got that not very many people have. I mean, in a comedian, you got to have that finesse about what you say
Yeah.
sometimes, and he's one of them.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. Although, I have to say, I've been obsessed with Shrek the Musical, and the guy who plays Donkey in that, he was really, really, really good. You know, I kind of put him up there with Eddie Murphy's performance. He was really good. I mean, at that point, watching this thing, I was like, you know what? It shouldn't be called Shrek. It should be called Donkey and Friends.
yeah. Basically, I was gonna mention Shrek. 'Cause Shrek is actually one of my favorite. It's up there. All of them. I mean, all of them were good
Mhm.
from the very beginning. The which one ever was a. Again, I don't think I've seen them all, but I know I've seen the first three, and it's always been awesome, no matter how they did it. Uh, and you've been talking about the musical, and I've been kind of wanting to see it, but I hadn't really sat down and tried yet.
Oh,
Uh, I
musicals
think
aren't everybody's cup of tea.
yeah. Uh, Usually the musical is not the only thing would be the Phantom of the Opera, which we'll have to get in that another time. But I think the second one when they brought the cat in, uh, was probably the uh, one of my favorites. It was a time when I was still married to my ex-wife, and when he done the pose where he holds his hat under his chin and does that sad face,
But
I'll get you every time. I don't care who you are.
Mhm. My two little
Puss
stinky,
in Boots.
they do that stuff to me. Like, give me look up at me with these huge eyes. I'm like, what exactly are you trying to get
Yeah.
away with, cat?
But yeah, Shrek is. Man, anybody that's never watched Shrek needs to watch Shrek. Uh, and it's sad doesn't watch new stuff. I mean, they're always watching their when they grew up or when they was younger movies,
Mhm.
ones that they can understand. But mom loves Shrek. You know.
Mhm. Mhm. It's funny.
Uh,
You know, the humor is intentionally adult humor, not completely all the way through, but yeah.
yeah, it's more of a family type where it's got hints of all around. So yeah, I mean Shrek is to me is probably one of the best movies, cartoon movies. 2000 plus. New millennium movies of
Right.
cartoons.
Right.
Because I hadn't really watched all kind of cartoon movies uh that much, especially lately. Uh, the on lately in the last 5 years, it's funny, but of course they made a cartoon of Star Wars Clone Wars instead of
Mhm.
making a real life movie about it. And it's and I'm sure y'all have heard of it, but it's the time between episode 2 and episode 3 of the real movies.
Mhm.
All right. Well, when it first came out, alright, am I gonna wait till it comes on DVD, or am I gonna go watch it at the theater?
Right.
I went to go watch it at the theater, and you would have thought that I bought every ticket in the theater because I was the only one there.
Oh my
I
god.
felt so like, why am I here? I can see how crazy and dorky I am because I'm sitting in here watching a movie, a cartoon by myself. But it was a decent movie. The thing I
Mhm.
didn't like, it didn't have the real intro of Star Wars and everything, so it wasn't the same as I would hope it would have been. But it was a good movie. It just wasn't theater material in my opinion after I watched it.
It wasn't really what you expected.
Right. It was something they should have just put on DVD or straight on TV.
Mm.
So, does any of y'all got any cartoon movies y'all want to bring up?
I've got one from left field, of course. My favorite
Of
animated
course, we expect
film.
that now. So
I know it's pretty sad, but my favorite animated film from when I was younger was and still is The Last Unicorn.
I have actually heard of it. I don't think that I've watched it, but
And I never watched it.
I heard it was pretty good. So, and like the people that I've heard that has watched it, but it's not one of them. Like it's not my cup of tea. I guess you could say.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't watch it myself, or maybe if you was watching it, I would probably watch it with you. You know.
But then he would tell
So
everybody that you were making him watch it.
yeah, that's probably
No,
what's gonna happen.
he knows. You should know better than that, sir.
Yeah, I know better. I know. I'm just joking. But
That
but
would
yes,
stop him from
I
telling
would.
everybody.
Yeah. But if all right, say one day we was gonna watch a movie and you wanted to watch it, I'd watch it with you. I mean, I don't have no problem watching a movie that don't particularly. It's not my type of movie. That doesn't mean I won't watch it. You
Right.
know. So I'll watch it with somebody if they want to watch it. I'm not very picky. I mean, with that. I mean, if
Because
somebody
he's a
wants
good
to.
man.
Yes,
He'll
I'm a
watch
good
what you
guy.
want.
At least I try to be. I try to be good. I say no more. But the only thing bad is, what we cannot really say on air, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
But
yes.
he
Well.
knows what I'm saying. But
But
anyway,
yeah, I think you might like it. There's some good humor in there, like really good humor. There's a magician in it, and he accidentally brings a tree to life, and she has like big wooden boobs, and she's smothering him with her big wooden boobs,
Oh,
and
jeez.
he's talking about, oh, I love you. You don't know the love that you've never experienced the love that a tree can have. You're mine forever. It's just completely
that probably
bizarre.
sell that movie. That would probably sell that movie good enough to for people to watch it.
No, it has a huge following.
Oh,
It
I'm sure it does. You know, it's one of those movies where, I mean, there's a lot of movies to me
Mhm.
that I'd rather watch it with somebody else
Mhm.
than watch it by myself.
Yeah.
And, I,
Okay.
and that's one of them, I guess, because it's like, you know, you want to watch a movie, I'll watch it with you. I mean, that's just the way it is. Because I'm sure you've watched movies you probably weren't interested in that we was watching because I wanted to watch it. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
But no, yeah, I think you might find some good points in it. Stuff that you'll find interesting. There we go.
Yeah, well, see, that's with comedy. I think comedy's better when you watch it with somebody
Oh yeah,
than when you
definitely.
watch it by yourself. It really has to be just outright funny
It
if you
does.
watch comedy by yourself.
Yeah, yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's my opinion with comedy. A lot of times, comedy is not. If you watch it by yourself, it's really not as funny as if you're watching it with somebody else. You know, because
Yeah.
now it's funny. Now you got two people there laughing, and it makes it even more fun. So everybody's laughing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that works sometimes. Some other times, it's the complete
Exactly.
opposite. You're hysterical and in tears alone, and then watch it with somebody else, and they either don't get the joke or they just don't think it's that funny, and you're all prepared to like do a belly laugh, and they're just like, huh, okay, and all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, oh right,
Yeah.
not so funny.
Well, I've had movies like that when I was watching with somebody. Where they was laughing their ass off at it, and because they was laughing, it made me laugh.
Right.
Because I was laughing at really them, not me or the movie. So you know.
hmm
But yeah, it's a win lose situation, I guess. Because if it's not really funny to somebody, like the humor is not their type of humor,
hmm
then it's not gonna make you laugh.
Right.
Um,
I think that's how we started off with Gabriel Iglesias, Fluffy.
yeah. Fluffy.
When I was watching it the first time I saw it come on Netflix, and I was just dying. I mean, he was just saying stuff, and I thought it was the funniest thing. Like when he's gotten off of the log ride from Disney, and he's trying to walk, and his thighs are rubbing together, and he's like we're all rosado in here, and rosado means pink or red, whatever. Basically, he's saying he's got a rash because his gigantic thighs are rubbing against his wet jeans.
Yeah, there's you know uh with comedy, stand-up comedy, we might have to do a segment in another after party or something else like comedy, um, because I think it could be a little one segment. So we might have to put
Definitely.
that in next week, maybe.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hell yeah!
Oh, now I got everybody yawning. Yay!
Woo.
I'm contagious or infectious, whichever, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I go ahead and make this announcement too. If y'all have any ideas or subjects, uh, y'all can just bring it to me on Skype or whatever. Anybody else as well, if they got my Skype, or anybody that sees this, and if y'all got an idea of a subject or question or anything, you can email me at wildwestwsr@gmail.com or owner@wildstyleradio.com. So if anybody has any questions or any ideas of a subject, or you want to be a guest on the Wyldstyle Afterparty, then let me know and we'll get you set up. Uh, alright, we're talking about the cartoon movies and it kind of got into comedy, which is pretty cool, and it set us up for us another subject maybe next week. So that's good. We got something going for next week, and how many of y'all? Because I know I haven't really. I've watched one of the movies, partially, with the movie Cars.
Oh.
Uh, it's one of them that I've been kind of avoiding, I guess you could say. And it just happened. It just happened to be on, and I think it was like a quarter in. I don't even know how long it's been on, but I watched some of it to most of it and saw the end. It had its moments, and I think it's a good movie, but it's not one that I just fall over just to go see it or see it. Uh,
Yeah, I haven't seen all of it, but the trailers weren't exactly promising
yeah,
enough.
yeah, it was more for kids, and yes, of course the kids loved it, and it was a big hit.
Mm.
Uh, and now I'm trying to think of that other movie that I did watch. I can't remember. I watched the first one and the second one, but it was hilarious. Uh, it's got a deer, a buck that's supposed to be getting married. He loses one of his antlers that he took all summer to grow.
Open
Uh,
season?
yes, opens. Excuse me.
Don't get too excited now.
Uh, I can't really remember all of it, but it was pretty funny. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. 'Cause it's like one that just came on TV, and I watched it. Um, but now I'm going to lead into uh to one that I did get into, and I got one. I think I got the first one, and I've been wanting to get the second one, and the third one, Ice Age.
Mm-hmm.
That was a
Ice
good one.
Age. Oh yeah, Ice Age is funny. Oh, especially the squirrel chasing the nut.
Oh my gosh, that poor squirrel.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever got his nut.
No, and when he did, it was just too big.
Frozen, I think.
Yeah, frozen.
Yep.
And then time he went to heaven, and he had this just big acorn
Mm-hmm.
right there, and he's like, "Oh, I finally got the gold."
Mm-hmm.
And then watch his name, the oh, the the crazy little character that nobody
The
that
sloth.
This lot, yeah.
yeah, the sloth, gives him mouth to mouth and CPR and stuff like that, and brings him back to life.
Like
And I
right
thought,
before he touches it.
yeah, right before he touches it, I thought he was gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was gonna kill him. I said, "Yep, sloth, you're dead." He was in heaven, and you took him away. He didn't have to chase no more. Now he's back alive. Now he's got to chase that nut again.
Oh man, John Leguizamo, he did that part so well.
Yeah.
That guy's funny.
Oh. There was. I liked the part when they were sliding down the ice in the tunnel in the cave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spinning around.
There were so many funny moments. You just can't explain them all.
They really were.
No.
I think the most recent animated film I really liked was what is it called? Tangled.
Tangled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one was funny.
That was.
I'll have to. I have to watch it then. I know I like cartoon movies. I just don't make a point of, going out and try, just see them right away. Uh, but
But they are
yeah,
good movies to take for the family. So
yeah. That's one thing about, I guess, 'cause I don't have no kids, so I don't have a point of going to a movie cartoon. Uh, I'm trying to think of another one. If y'all can think of one. Uh,
Well,
um,
I think Callie might have had some more to say on Tangled. Did you?
I haven't seen.
uh, well, as far as Tangled, my favorite part was always when she hit him with the pan.
Well, what is about a woman hitting a man with a pen?
It's funny.
It's always funny, unless it happens to you.
Yes. Well, I don't hit with frying
Yeah.
pans, so you're in the clear.
No, I just smack him with my hand. It's alright.
Yep, yep.
I'm not gonna go down that direction because I don't want to get hit by one or the what worse that you're probably talking about. So yeah, I'm not going down that line.
You're
uh,
fine. I won't be hitting you with a frying pan.
cause mine look could be
Saucepan.
something worse, like a.
Oh. No, not with a car.
I told you it'd be worse. I know women. I know y'all.
Maybe the inner Latino will come out and I'll just start chasing you with my slippers. Throw my slippers at you.
Alright. Well, if that's the case, I'm in good shape.
Sure, you
Run
don't know.
away. God, everybody's gonna start feeling sorry for JJ.
You got a pretty good smacking
No,
hand.
but anyway,
Nice and heavy, just go whack.
yeah, whatever happened, would have a pretty good case of happy feet. Speaking of happy feet, has anybody watched Happy Feet? I really hasn't seen it, so
I did watch it when it came out because we did a family thing and we took all the kids to see it.
yeah.
So that was actually the only time that I've seen it. But it was a pretty good movie.
I think I've seen bits and pieces. It did come on TV a couple months ago, but I decided, I've already watched a couple movies here. So I didn't really watch it. So I'm gonna have to put a point of watching it one day. I mean, there's so many movies out, cartoon movies and regular movies that you just can't watch them all.
I know.
No.
You guys
No.
really should watch Divergent though. I love that movie. But it's not a cartoon.
What was it called?
Divergent.
I think that I seen the previews of that, and I heard it was good.
It was a really good movie.
Well, I'm sure I'll try to watch it. How long before it came out?
I think what is it, like a month and a half or something? I know it's over a month already.
Yeah, cause I think the preview of it is on The Hunger Games Catching Fire, and I saw
Yeah.
the preview. Yeah, and I see the preview, and I said, well, looks like it's gonna be a good movie. So that's one of them that I think that I'm probably gonna try to watch.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I love I love his tattoo though. It's really nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't have no tattoos in real life, so yeah, I don't plan on getting
That's okay. I don't have any tattoos in real life either.
one. But we're probably going to end the show here in a few minutes. But before we do, I guess in a way that gives us a little ending subject on if you was going to get a tattoo, what kind of tattoo would you get?
Let's see. I want a tiger.
A tiger?
Yeah,
Oh,
I want a tiger. The only reason I haven't got one yet is because the tiger tattoos, it takes forever, and there's like a lot of detail that goes into it. So it's like kind of scary for me. I'm gonna have
yeah,
to I'm gonna have to have JJ over there holding my hand while this tiger is being put on me.
Aw.
yeah. Tigers has got a lot of detail in any tattoo. If you can't stand pain, it's not a good thing. I don't know because I don't have any, but yeah, I can see where having a tiger, and I guess it depends on what kind of tiger you or how detailed you want it. Uh, like if you want a white tiger or a regular orange and black, like you know the main tigers.
Mhm.
But
I guess
the thing with tigers is you can't get it small. It has to be big so you can actually see it.
yeah, yeah. I hate it when I see someone that has a small tattoo and it'd be a lot better if they had it bigger.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what is that?
Mm. And I just don't understand the process of people getting like either Chinese or Japanese writing in a tattoo.
Mhm.
I guess it means something to them, which is cool, and I'm not trying to say you shouldn't. But it's your body, you can do what you want to with it, I guess. But it's like why?
Mm.
Well, I
uh,
mean, I'm pretty sure that if you're gonna put something on your body, it should mean something to you, not just something you're just gonna like pick out of a picture or anything. Because then
yeah,
later on, you're gonna be like, crap, why did I get this?
yeah,
I was watching a comedian, I think his name is Russell Peters. In one of his stand ups, he just goes off on people who get tattoos for no reason. And he picked out a couple people in the audience. They're like, "Yeah, why'd you get that tattoo?" And they're like, "Oh, just because I wanted it." And then he just like ripped them to shreds.
yeah. If you're gonna get a tattoo, make sure it's something that you can relate to, that relates to you. And not something that like just don't go out and get drunk and get a tattoo and like I got a tattoo. I got a tattoo of that. What? That'd be just so crazy. If that happened. It's like what movie was it? Kingpin, I think it was. I think it was about the uh an Amish guy that would go to the bowling alley and bowl, and then a bowl expert or like a scout saw him and said, "Hey, we can make money." And they went out, and he kind of, how the Amish are. You're not supposed to do this and that and whatever.
Mhm.
Uh, how strict they are. So uh, they go on the road and everything. It was a pretty funny movie. And they went out and got drunk one time. They got back to the hotel. He don't, not even his coach, whoever that found him, that he's running with. When he took his shirt off to change clothes, the coach looked at it and said, "Oh my God!"
Mm.
And he said, "What?" What? You got a tattoo? No, it's desecration of the body. I'm not supposed to have a tattoo. No, what am I gonna do? When I get home, my mom and dad's gonna kill me. I can't remember really what he said, but that was basically the reaction that he had. So you gotta watch what you do when you get drunk. If you get drunk. So, uh, anyway, Ice, do you have a specific tattoo that you would like to have?
I used to, but not anymore. Um,
Well, what you used to,
I used to want a eye, like at the base of my neck. I don't know why. I don't, well, no, let me rephrase that. I don't remember why, but there was a whole reason behind it. Um, I think that was it, really. Or blue rose, just because I've always wanted a blue rose. And I don't really think I
Oh,
had any specific place.
yeah. I mean, it goes to say if you're gonna get something that you're gonna enjoy for the rest of your life, because it
Hmm.
ain't coming off.
Yeah, see, that's one of the reasons why I'm not getting one, because I'm too indecisive, and that crap's permanent. I can't afford to be indecisive.
Yeah, that's one thing. Uh, I'll tell you that when I was in Tasmania, uh, that's where I got my left ear pierced, and I got it pierced by a very professional tattoo artist. And he did it by hand. He did not do it with a gun. He done it the old-fashioned big needle, and it was set to be uh, like a belly button ring in my ear. I mean, the two sizes up that you usually get. Uh,
Mm.
I mean, now it's probably shrunk down to regular size because that's what I wear, a regular size. Uh, but this guy was covered from head to toe in tattoos. His face was tattooed, his head was tattooed, his scalp, everything, to his
Wow.
neck, to all of his. I didn't check under his clothes, where that I didn't go that far, but he said it was all the way down to his toes. The only thing that was not covered was the back of his knees, back of his legs, right up behind his knees, and he said he was working on that, and he done 90% of it himself,
Wow.
and he was named Australia's best tattoo artist of all. Uh, and I remember when he got came to the door. Me and uh, my ex-wife and his wife was friends. That's how they knew each other and how this happened. So they opened the door. My first time I ever saw him, and she even her warning me say, "Hey, he's got tattoos on his face and everything else like that." And when he opened the door, and I was still like, "Oh my God, look at this person! He's a walking tattoo."
Mm.
And but the extraordinary thing about it was he did 90% of it himself on his own body. But I will say they was awesome. I mean, the artwork was awesome. But anyway, uh, I was gonna get a tattoo, but I only had like maybe a week or a couple of days before I got on the plane. I didn't really want to feel crappy on the plane and be hurting. Uh, and I was gonna get a Tasmanian devil. And here's where the indecisive thing happened with me, is I didn't know if I wanted the real Tasmanian devil, because yes, there is a real Tasmanian devil in Tasmania,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't know if I really wanted that or the cartoon character, and I was gonna have genuine made tattoo in Tasmania. I didn't know where I wanted to put it or anything, so the indecisive part I didn't know where I wanted to put it, so I decided I ain't gonna get it. Then I got home and I told one of my friends, which he's an artist, and now he can do tattoos now. He wanted to do it, and I said no, it's not the same, because it was because I was in Tasmania, and that would have been the coolest thing that I did get it in Tasmania, so I could live with that for the rest of my life. At least I got it, a tattoo of a Tasmanian devil in Tasmania.
I did
Oh,
it 5 times fast.
yeah, that was hard to say. And then the other tattoo that I wanted, um, and this was after, I think I was going through craziness of depression, or maybe not depression, but I was bar hopping and stuff like that. I started thinking of, all right, Star Wars, Anakin, and Darth Vader. Um, I think it was just an image that I would like to at least draw out as a poster, but I wouldn't have minded to have it at the time. I'm glad I didn't get it, but it had this image of Anakin Skywalker fighting Darth Vader with the lightsabers clashing and having like a saying, like a, I think I had kind of had it like, uh, I think someone's asleep.
No, my nose is just stuffed up.
Sorry. But I had a saying that like there's a time in life when you struggle between good and evil. No matter how of this or that, and I can't even remember what it was, but I had a good saying and it was pretty good. And then had like saying the struggle within, and I actually wanted that on my back. But I'm glad I didn't get it. but but maybe I would like to draw it out one day.
Well, there is a process that we could do, and it would be well, not really even all that semi-permanent, but the Indians, they use the henna plant to do this art called mendi. And you just use the dye that's made from the henna to create all these designs, whatever. And the only thing is you gotta stay still for a good amount of time to let it dry. But after it dries, it's there for at least a month and a half.
Cool. Might have to.
So I get to Mindy your back. Wahahaha.
Meta. And I met a tattoo artist, and I was pretty drunk. So I was telling him about it. He said, "Yeah, I'll do it." I took his number down and everything, but I never called him or anything. So kind of glad I didn't. but but that's my thing with tattoos. I don't plan on ever getting a tattoo though. Now, I mean, I'm like, I actually had my friend's sister got a tattoo around her belly button, and just got it. A few months later, she got pregnant.
Oh.
So yeah, that kind of destroyed that tattoo.
Oh, that's
So
terrible.
so ladies, if y'all plan on getting pregnant, do not get a tattoo around your belly.
Actually, you know what? Just don't get a tattoo on your belly at all if you're a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, because it will stretch it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I guess we'll do our final say and get this over with. We are pretty much done for this Wyldstyle after party. So, if Callie wants to start it off.
Alright. This is Callie saying good night. Hope you enjoyed the after party, and we will see you next week.
Alright, this is DJ Ice. Thank you for watching our after party or listening to our after party. Hope you enjoyed the banter and the pretty much low key after party. Come back next week. We'll be back in full force with all the hijinks you've come to know and love. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, this is probably like the first like kind of low key, kind of calm, because we have a couple people sick. So we done our best though. I think we done a good job with cartoons, and I hope everybody enjoyed. You can catch me on air at wyldstyleradio.com, 7 p.m. Eastern time Saturday night, then 10:30 Eastern, or no, Central is all Central time. Excuse me. Uh, we'll be right back here, having fun, and we've already got a little bit of a subject going to start out with, at least comedy, comedians and stuff like that. So hope to see you there. Hope to see you then. Hope everybody enjoyed, and I hope everybody has a great night and a great week. Don't forget to come by wyldstyleradio.com and check out all our DJs and all our characters, and we'll have more types of hangouts and podcasts and everything else. So till then, good night. While Weston and his rowdy friends are signing off. See you next time.